check-ins for the USECA Zombie Alert Fusion. I've already heard WBAT, KE8IGL, and W1IK. So we're going for the early bird check-ins, and we'll get the net going. Let's get you in here. Take your time, nice and slow with the call sign and your name, and that'll be perfect. Check in now.
This is Whiskey Alpha 1, United Tango Quebec. WMUTQ, Pussy, North Central Florida.
This is K4PYA, Kilo 4, Papa Yankee Alpha. Name here is Robert. I'm in Independence Township, near Clarkston.
Alpha Charlie 8, Zulu Delta, Dave.
W7 BAZ Brad.
TCH, this is Paul.
K6 Whiskey Uniform, Dave.
Alright, let's hold the bus right there for a minute. Of course, from the top of the list, we got WP80, KE8IGL, W1IK, N8HUV, hello to Andy, WA1UTQ Bruce, W4PYA Robert, AC8ZD Dave, W7BAZ Brad, KE8PCH Paul, and K6WU Dave. I think it was Dave. Can't read my own handwriting. You correct me if I messed that one up, Dave. Alright, any other check-ins? Call, sign, and name.
Yeah, did you get me? WA1UTQ Bruce. Must have been missing someplace there.
Alright there, Bruce. No, you're way up on the list there, Bruce. I read your name way up there. You're ahead of the game. Any other check-ins?
This is KI8M. WASOX.
Alrighty, we just picked up KI8M with W8SOX. Any other check-ins? Call, sign, and names slowly, please. Alright, welcome one and all to the USECA Zombie Alert Fusion Net. We're actually coming up to the top of the hour. We want to welcome those who checked in already. And we're going to pause. Since it is that time, we're looking for more check-ins. All are welcome. We just need your call sign and your name slowly. And of course, if my radio's programmed right, this is NA Today, and the name is Chuck. So get you checked in now. Call sign and name slowly. Alrighty, before we start things up, does anybody have a topic which they'd like to talk about on the net today? Please call Net Control. Alrighty, well then what we're going to do, we're going to talk about swaps. AM radio swaps. I want to know, do you go to swaps? I want to know, do you like outdoor swaps? Have you been to an outdoor swap? Do you really, really like it? With the things that are going on today, a lot of people are talking about outdoor swaps. Wondering if you've been to them, do you like them? Which do you prefer? Anything like that? And do you have a favorite memory about a swap you went to? Something that's special that went on? I remember a swap that I went to in Ohio, and I had a bunch of friends with me. It was a riot, and we were at the concession area, and 150 feet, 200 feet on the other end, with all the other tables with stuff for sale, our friend Bob sneezed. As soon as our friend Bob sneezed, the table on the other end instantly collapsed, dumping all the guys' equipment. Never laughed so hard. Powerful sneeze. WBAD, welcome to the net, talking about swaps. Over to you all.
Getting said why? For WBAD, pardon me, well, all these swaps have been canceled around here indoors, as we all well know here in metropolitan Detroit, Michigan. And we're left with, and I agree, the outdoor swaps, and I've had a ball with them. I really have. I enjoy the fellowship. I don't buy that much, and what I buy, usually I give away because the price is so great that you hate to have somebody hold on to it forever. My favorite swap was a few years back, and it involved you, Chuck, where you're looking over my shoulder, and I thought you were tripping out, and you spotted that clear speech speaker for $20. I couldn't believe it. At least 30 feet away. Oh, talk about an eye. Back in that WB.
Oh, yeah, and I'm not Bob, by the way. Anyway. Oh, I seen that. Walt picked it up, and I was on the other side of the room, and the spider senses went up. I said, I got to get over there. Walt looked at it, and I started using my telekinetic powers, like, put it down, put it down, put it down. As soon as he put it down, I reached up and yanked it and got it. So I love it. I use that speaker at the park quite a bit. Great speaker. KE8IGL. John, over to you.
Hey, Chuck. This is John. Great to hear you. Thank you for running the net today. Not been to a whole lot of swaps per se, not radio swaps. Probably about 3 in my lifetime. The last one was the Huntsville, Alabama Ham Fest, and they had a swap there, and that was indoors. I like them better outdoors. The lighting's better, kind of spread out a little more, a little more relaxed. You're not breathing on everybody. Especially we went down there in one of the down curves. People were pretty relaxed, not completely outdoor, a little bit more low-key, at least as far as people's tensions. But anyhow, rubbish, parking, I always look to hunt. I found it that I would, hey, this is a key point of my hunt at any ham fest or ham swaps. But I have picked up a couple of little things and really enjoyed the adventure. So the next one I can get to, I'm definitely all in. I'm all for them. This is KE8IGL. Back to Net Control.
Alright, very, very good there, John. And let's move along and talk to your friend and mine, a local famous person in this area. W1IK, Jim, welcome to the net.
N8ZA Net Control for the USECA Thursday night C4FM System Fusion Net here on the Zombie Alert Network. Good evening, Chuck, and good evening all aboard. I do not make a habit of attending swaps. The biggest issue that I have with swaps is scheduling. It's just very difficult for me to be up at dark 30 for any reason on a Sunday unless I'm being paid. Sorry to sound so mercenary, but it's just the truth. Oftentimes I'll have a conflict on a Sunday morning because I do have a church gig that is recurring, and oftentimes the swap will fall on a week where I need to be somewhere else, and I am being paid to be at that somewhere else, so I do it. So I can get up early. I don't like it, but if there's money involved, I'll do it. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, you can make a lot of money at a swap if you sell all your junk. Well, yeah, but you end up leaving with more junk than you came with most of the time, and there's that. So I'm just not a real big swapaholic. Some people live for them. I like the camaraderie. When I go, I enjoy myself, but I rarely leave with more than maybe a handful of connectors or something like that comes off a table for me, and or the door prize. I've been known to win the door prize, so that makes it worthwhile. But you'll be happy to know, all of you people, that I don't go to a lot of them. When I do, I win the door prize. But so yeah. Anyway, back to that control. N8ZAM, the group with E1 India Kilo Jim in East Point, Michigan.
All right there, Jim. Yeah, I think you won. Yeah, you won a nice, I think, a 706 Mark II-G and an HD one time, so not that I'm counting. I won a soldering station, I think, as one of the door prizes from EAE Soldering Sales. If you've been to a swap, you know Bruce there. What a wonderful guy he is. All right, moving down the list is none other than N8HUB. Andy, what's going on? How cold is it over on that side of the state? Welcome, N8.
HB. Hey, Chuck, good evening. Thanks for doing that. Good to hear, everybody. Well, we got 38 degrees right now, but it's going to get cold tonight. It's going to get down in the teens. They said Saturday might be getting in the single digits, so we're staying behind the warm glass tonight. I'll tell you, I went out yesterday and got some grub and got a home and some stuff, so I'm going to sit in for the weekend. But other than that, we're doing okay. As far as swaps, yeah, I like going to swaps every spring, and in the summer I like to go to them. The one I like the best is over in Hudsonville. That's over by Allendale, 45 there. That's a nice swap. I'm sorry. Yeah, always something interesting inside and upper side of the match, and had a good turnout, and trunk seals on the side, tables inside, and the building. The sliding doors opened up on one end and one on the side there. It's high. It opened up 10, 12 feet there, so that plenty of air right through there. Nice swap. Always fun. I'm like a kid in the candy store going to those swap. Don't a whole lot. You know, a couple of goodies here and there, connectors and pieces of wire or something with alligator clip or something like that. But I sure like to look it up. Way back. Cool. You're too close to your mic. Back to you, Chuck, N8UB.
All right there, Andy. Hang in there for our second go around. Next time I list is WA1UTQ. Let's get Bruce in here now. And we're talking about swaps there, Bruce. Tell us about some swaps. Over to you.
Okay, sorry about the microphone. I must have got close to it. Too close. Sometimes every radio is different to get on there. I hope this is okay at the moment. Anyways, other than that, why, 2 points in the 50s, and now it drops so rapidly. At night, I don't know how low it really goes. I'll let you know how low it gets. So it's going to be chilly in the afternoon. Highs will be in the a couple of times in the 50s. So a little bit chilly, but we expected that. It's a change of weather versus 180 days of 90-degree weather. And we just had the QCWA meeting today, and we thought the snow. Well, we had the lunch meeting, and so snowbirds are here. Yeah, because the weather has been nice, anyways. Yeah, I've been working on my 80 and stuff, the 80 and 40 antenna. Still working at that. Back in the so, oh, swap. Ram swap is the best one. A lot of hamfest on it to get all kinds of parts, and some of this stuff is nice to go to walk down memory lane and remember all the stuff that you had used. But anyways, this year will be the first time with a couple of us are going to have a outdoor swap table, whatever it is, in the Orlando Ham Convention, or Ham Convention. It's vacation anyway. So biggest outdoor swap stuff there, and also we have 3 buildings. 3 buildings is full of the first 2 buildings of the commercial, what they call it, vendors, and then building C is the indoor swap meet too. So it's a big one. I tell you, it spent almost all day going through. So we'll be at the convention Friday and Saturday. They're actually Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Thursday is the ARRL convention. But anyway, so that should be fun. I enjoy. I get a lot of parts. That's one on my list, for the HTs, and then a bunch of parts all over the place. So anyways, okay. I wonder how my audio sounds right here. About at least a good foot away from my mouth. I think I have to lower the mic gain on this 300. Sometimes it gets a little high for some reason. But anyways. Back to you. This is WMUTQ here in North Central Florida.
All right, very good there, Bruce. No, you sound just fine. A good hint that Larry told me years ago. Pretend you're eating a 6-foot stub, and then cut that in half, and then that's the right distance. At least that's what he told me. Anyway, very good. K4PYA, Robert, good to have you in here. Talking about swaps, do you like indoors, outdoors? Is there any favorite swap you went to that you got a good memory about? If you do, share it with us. Robert, over to you.
Good evening, Chuck. This is Robert in Independence Township. Good evening to everyone on the net tonight. I've only been licensed 2+ years, so I basically got licensed right before the pandemic started. So you know how many swaps I've been to. Actually, I've been to one, and that was the Hazel Park Club had one in January of 2020. And I was going for my general license at that time, and took the license and then walked through the swap, but didn't buy anything. And oh, by the way, if you were planning to attend the Hazel Park swap meeting, I think scheduled for the 23rd of this month, it has been canceled, and you probably understand why. Well, my favorite memory of a swap, probably nobody else on the net has ever been to this one, but both my parents were licensed back in the late 50s and early 60s. I actually have my dad's call sign. But anyhow, we lived in central Kentucky, and they had a swap meet at the Keeneland Race Course, which is in Lexington, Kentucky. And I remember going with my parents and my brother to Keeneland for those swaps. Very, very good memories. First time ever been to a big facility like that, and you can imagine how big it must have seemed to somebody that was 12 or 13 years old. I would make a comment that the reception was a lot different, right? I'm coming in through wire text. Previously, I was coming in via simplex. So far, I'm hearing everybody a lot better, and hopefully my signal is okay or acceptable tonight also. So, with all that, I'll send it back to Chuck. This is K4PYA, back to N8ZA.
All right there, Robert. Very good. Wow, that's a long time ago. As a kid, that must have been just incredible. All right, let's move down our list. Yeah, I wish I would have got licensed at a lot younger age. I think that would have been really something. Anyway, Alpha Charlie 8 Zulu Delta. His name's Dave. He's checked in before. He's not a first-time caller. So, Dave, welcome, and over to you, and tell us something swappy. Over to you. Alrighty. Trying over the RF link today. Yeah, their internet's getting a little bit of packet loss, but I think that's just because a lot of folks are on. But that's a good thing. A lot of folks are on. Swaps. Well, I don't know. I've been kind of in a ham radio coma for 25 years, so the last swap I've been to was in the 90s. So the last time I went to a swap was probably down in Dayton, and I think it was like 1995 maybe. And was back when they still had the whatever the convention center that they had down there that got, I guess, the weather knocked it down, so it is no longer. But it was huge. I just remember it being huge, so that was very memorable. I think I picked up a battery, and I had that battery for a long, long time, and I finally threw it out. But it lasted a long time. And I do remember the swaps around here. I remember we used to host them in buildings, like schools and stuff. I remember Land's Cruise swap and all that, but have not been to a swap since returning to the hobby, and probably mostly because of COVID than actually wanting to go, so hopefully things will clear up and we can enjoy swaps again. Back to net, AC8ZD. All right there, Dave. Yeah, the reason why I bring this up is because, as was mentioned a few moments ago, the one swap is coming up on the 23rd is canceled. And our meetings, we've gone back to personal meetings, but they've kind of gone down to hardly anybody showing up. And it's all because of what's going on, and that's why I'm asking about indoor, outdoor swaps. Which do you prefer, basically? Where do you like the indoor? Do you like the outdoor, or whatever? And a favorite swap moment that you might remember, because we're going to try to do something to try to please everybody, and outdoors does seem to be the best, but it's got to be where it's not too cold and not too hot. So there you go. Next on my list is none other than, I forgot where I was at. I even forgot who I just talked to. Let me see. Is Brad next, I think? W7VAZ, you correct me, you already had a turn there, Dave. I think you already had a turn. Thanks, Dave. Dave, you telekinesis or whatever told me he had a turn. All right, WK something, KEAPCH, I'll get on the right track at 8 Mile Mac. Paul, welcome to the net, over to you.
KEAPCH, thank you, Chuck. I don't know if I'm actually supposed to be going right now or not. My next up there.
But as for swaps, no, I am happily married, and I got into radio right around the time when everybody, decided to bump down. So I haven't really made it out to any swaps or anything like that. I guess the closest story that I have for any kind of swaps was for a computer show kind of thing. Every first, I think it was every first Saturday in Dallas, Texas, where it was at midnight downtown Dallas, which already sounds like good choices. But they had all kinds of different, booths and things set up where people have all of those extra motherboards and parts and things, and it was in 99, 98, something like that. But it was fun then. Fun. The radio related swaps would be just as much. And hopefully I'll be able to get to with that, I'll give it back to Net Control. This is 88 PCH. All right there, Paul. Yeah, I know it's your turn. And, sounds like swap late at night in Texas might be an interesting thing. Maybe not amateur radio related. I think that's what you were saying. But, we lost you a couple times, so we got the drift of it all. So very, very good. All right, wouldn't it be nice to be in Texas now? What the weather is, what's the temperature? I have to look that up. Better than here. K6WU. Dave, welcome to the net. Come on in here, we're talking about swaps tonight. What's going on over in your neck of the woods? Welcome, over to you.
Sorry, did you call it was uniform?
Absolutely, Dave. Not a problem. We got you in here now. Welcome to Net. We're talking about swaps. Do you like indoor, outdoor? Do you go to very many of them? A favorite story about a swap? We want to hear it from you there, Dave. Welcome. Over to you.
Hi, I just kind of stumbled on this net. I got a Christmas present for myself, a Yaesu 55D, and I've been setting it up for all the students. I was connecting to the zombie and you guys popped up, so I thought I'd give you guys a shout out. So anyway, I have never been to a ham swap meet. Boo hiss. I guess I just never was in the market for home gear. I kind of look up what I need off the internet. And but I guess I would be open to going to one at some point. Another, I think, is a group centered in Southeast Michigan because I went to the University of Michigan and some of the university area. People I didn't know back in Ann Arbor. So that's all. Case form back to that.
All right, there, Dave. We heard most of that little bit of internet stuff going on, but yeah, we're in sort of the Tri-County area here of Michigan, in the Detroit area, all the way up from the Grosse Pointe and west side of, or at least the Bloomfield Hills area, and Mount Clemens and all that. We cover a huge, huge area. A bunch of repeaters linked together. Good that you stumbled across. It's nice to get yourself a gift. That's great. This way you know you got what you wanted, right? And mark it down on your piece of paper there and join us as often as you want at any time. And hopefully you'll be here for the second go-around. If not, that's okay, too. Well, let's talk to KI8M. His name's Gary. He's been to a few swaps in his day. He's been around for a while. And let's see what he's going to say. Gary, welcome. Over to you.
thank you, Chuck, for running the net today. This is KI8M in Washington Township, Michigan. And yeah, I've been in and out of ham radio since 1962, and 62 was the first time I went to a amateur radio swap. And that was through the old Samara Radio Club, Southeastern Michigan Amateur Radio Association Club. And that was held back in Finney High School. And I don't even recall anymore what it cost to get in or what it cost for a table, none of that stuff. I was just excited to be there and see all the fancy tube radios that I always dreamt about and could never afford. But yeah, swaps, I like them. Indoors, outdoors. I've only been to a couple of outdoor swaps, and they'd be perfectly fine as long as the weather was good. I remember going to a swap, and I think I hooked up with you down in Findlay, Ohio, and the weather was kind of crummy. But if I recall correctly, it's in the fall when that happens, so in Ohio, and as in Michigan, the weather can be very iffy. But I'm looking forward to the day when this whole COVID thing or any other virus will be under control, and we can all go back to living a normal life and doing the things that we like to do. So, back to Net Control, this is KI8M.
Hi there, Gary. We can only hope. We can only hope that things go back. All right, let's talk to your friend and mine. Of course, one of the net controls here with also WP80 is W8SOX. Larry, welcome to the net.
Well, good evening, Chuck, and everyone else on the net there. Doing a good job. I think swaps are a wonderful place to meet and greet people and get all sorts of good deals on things too. One of my favorite swaps, obviously, is the Findlay swap. Though I didn't go this year, but hoping next year will be different. And we got the also Dayton as well. One swap I really wished had taken off was that one out at MIS, but it didn't happen, and it's a shame. But I think the right ideas were there. Just it's very difficult to get something going on a scale like that. So, but who knows? Something else will come up sooner or later, I hope, for as far as swaps go, and make it interesting. We'll see what happens. So with that, that's my experience there with swaps. I mostly like the outdoor ones there, Chuck. Back to you, and HZAW8SOX.
All right, Larry. Yeah, the Michigan International Speedway. Well, they were asking way too much money for vendors and everything else. It was way, way too much money. And, of course, everybody knows I'm into outdoor photography and birds and stuff. So when I pulled into this lot and I looked overhead, and there was at least 20 turkey vultures circling the area, I knew the writing was on the wall. But anyway, we found something to buy. I think it was a bag of circus peanuts or something. Anyway, do we have any other check-ins for the net hauler? Welcome you now. Don't be shy. Call, sign, and name, please. No, and
This is a Blake.
KT7TT, Mark.
All right, we got N6WYKT7, if I wrote this right, Mark, Tango Tango. And Blake is in there. He's a W0 something. Is it SCA? SCA. I didn't quite get it there, Blake, because I was in a barbecue for a few moments. Anyway, Mark, are you a short time today? Over to you.
Good evening, Chuck, and everyone on the group. No, I'm here for the whole shot tonight. I had to cook dinner tonight, so I made sure it was done early so I could be here for the net. So, anyway, I've only been to 2 indoor net or swap meets, and they were both in the UP, one in Nagani and one in Escanaba. But everything else out here is all outdoors all the time, and almost never have bad weather. Sometimes it gets a little warm in the summer, but that's when you go up to Flagstaff in the high country and get in the cool pines, so it makes it worth a good excuse to go up there anyway. And in fact, that's where my favorite one was. That's where I took my advanced exam and passed it. That was in, July of '87, a long time ago. But, and other than that, I've bought a few little radios here and there, mostly mobile units and stuff. So overall, we really enjoy them out here. But, the last one we just had last month was here in Mesa. For the local club, we had like 550 people showed up. So it was a great day. And I found a pretty rare 220 mobile unit. So I was a happy camper over that. So. But overall, I enjoy them. Look forward to them. Can't always make them all, but we enjoy going to them. So, anyway, back to you, Chuck. N8ZA in the group, KT7TT.
All right there, Mark. Well, I feel privileged that you're in here for the long haul and that short time. That's excellent. All right, let's get back to N6WY. That's Dave. Dave, welcome to the net, and over to you.
Thank you, Chuck. Good evening to everybody on the net. This is November 6 Whiskey Yankee. I missed the very first part of it because right at 7 o'clock I got a phone call. And but anyway, I got the gist of the topic. And indoor swap, my complaint about them is they don't have the spaces in between the booth where you can walk wide enough. The one in Orlando I went to, half the building was empty, and where the swap was in one of the buildings, the walkway was so narrow and the booths were so close together you could hardly get through the crowd. I kind of wish they would have, spread those booths out a little bit so you can walk around. And also, years ago, I went to the Queen Mary there in Long Beach where they had a swap, major ham fest, and they had excellent new vendor participation, but it was all indoors. It's all in that boat. So, again, it was very crowded and booths were very close together. The one at the Speedway I thought was pretty good, but no vendors showed up. It's not very many of them. I guess that's the reason why it was easy to get around. But too bad that one couldn't take off. And of course, Dayton, the facilities were so bad there, but the outdoor was great. You can walk for a day there and don't see anything. And made a big improvement with the Xenon swap. So I think that's my favorite now. They spread the vendors into several different buildings, and it's still a little crowded, but you can. I think they have a little bit more space between the vendors. Or maybe the vendors not bringing as much as they used to or something. But the last one I've been there, which was a few years ago, they had adequate space, at least I thought they did. So this is N6WY, back to that.
All right there, Dave, very good. Well, we were quite fortunate for a short time. We had the Food Workers Hall on 13 and near I-75. Big facilities, big. We rented both halves and big aisleways. I mean, it was really, really nice. And then they stopped opening up their facility probably because of COVID or something. Then we heard they were selling it. So everybody's been scrambling around here, but things are kind of going south because of what's going on. But boy, we had it made. They had tables already there. You gave them your layout of the tables. They had it pre-set up for you. And one of our older places, we had to have tables delivered. And sometimes you had the vendors already there saying, you know, well, I want to put my stuff up. Where's my table? Well, we were still setting the stuff up. So we knew as soon as we could get in. Well, we had lucky for a while. Yeah, I like when there's big aisleways. That's for sure. All right, next time I list, I believe, if I got your call right there, Blake. Sorry. I used to do it, W0STA. Blake, welcome to the net.
Yeah, good evening, Jeff. W0SPA here. Name's Blake. Here in the beautiful city of Idaho Springs, Colorado. And I kind of like slots. They're kind of interesting. I think my favorite, without a doubt, for a number of different reasons, is going to be Quartz Fest, which is in Arizona, and I believe it's actually Quartz, Arizona. Without a doubt, that's the most interesting one I've been to, and it's not just a slot. There's a whole bunch of other stuff going on there, which makes it interesting. It's just, presentations, a lot of presentations, and stuff like that. It's a multi-day event. It's I'm actually looking at it right now, January 23rd to the 29th this year. And unlike Michigan, not in Michigan, but unlike Michigan, most other states are kind of not having COVID issues right now. Some are, some aren't. But no, these swaps are real, rocking and rolling all around the country. And the Quartz Fest, without a doubt, is one of the more interesting ones you can go to, I think. Only by a second. The other one that I liked was Dayton Ham Fest down there in Dayton, Ohio. I thought that was great. It was just they had a lot of interesting vendors. All the dealers and so on were interesting, but outside you found a lot of really, really interesting stuff. And I thought when I was there a couple of years ago, I bought some DMR equipment that I still use now, and it's great. It's great stuff. Anyways, that's all I've got for the net. I'll turn it back to you, Jeff, W0SCA.
All right, there, Blake, very good. I remember one time I went on a magical mystery tour with our good friend Stu, AW8K, if I remember Stu's call. God bless Stu, wonderful guy. And Leo and Blake there to New York for a swap. Was it Rockford or something like that? I think it was a long trip across Canada there, but we had some fun there too. So we were into swapping. Came back, our friend Stu bought so many antennas, so many things strapped to the roof of that minivan, and they just looked at us as we crossed the border and stuff, and it was like no big deal. Actually, the one border guard was a ham, so it was pretty cool. All right. Any other check-ins? I just need your call sign and name. Of course, this is NA Today with the USECA Zombie Alert Fusion Net. Let's get some check-ins now.
RJD, Ryan.
All right, let's pick up Ryan, W8RJD. Ryan, we're talking about swaps or anything else you want to comment about, but have you made it to a few swaps? Do you like indoor, outdoor? What makes a good swap maybe for you? Do you got a favorite memory about a swap or anything else? You want to give us your credit card PIN number, your debit card? We're all for that too. Pencils and papers are ready. Ryan, over to you.
Let's start. It's a Visa card number 4. No, just kidding. No, I've been to a few swaps. Like I say, I'm new to the hobby, but I really, really enjoy going to the slots, even if it's just to look around and to chat with the people there. Went to the Lance Cruise swap just recently. Actually picked up a pretty nice DMR handheld and got started in a DMR with that, just kind of playing around with it. Trying to think of what I picked up. I went to the Monroe swap earlier, and that had kind of an indoor and an outdoor component to it. But I think at the end of the day, I probably prefer the indoor swaps. And for me, a good swap would be anything where I can pick up something off. I usually will bring with me a list of something that I'm working on or something that components that I need. And if I can walk away with, some components, particularly antenna components, if I can walk away with something for an antenna, I feel pretty good about the swap. But as always, great net, good hearing from everybody. W8RJD, sending it back to N8ZA Net Control.
All right there, Ryan. Very, very good. Yeah, hopefully we'll see you at a swap if we ever have one in the area here, since the next one's been canceled. I think Livonia is still having theirs, but we'll have to see when the time comes. All right. Any other check-ins? It just takes your call sign and name. Welcome to the net. Check in now. Alrighty then, let's run right back up to the top. Let's talk to the guy that's the king of the castle, WB80. Let's see what's been going on with Walt. I know he's been pounding the brass lately, so let's find out what he's maybe worked or comment on band conditions or anything else. Walt, welcome to the net.
N8ZA WP80. Well, it's been a lot of fun, really. Worked a couple of Russians and down through South America. Caribbean's been coming in good. You have to band hop. You really do. You have to. It's like catching the right wave if you're surfing. And you got to catch it when you got the right wave and roll in QSP and all that. But it's been a lot of fun. I've been going through 1720 and 18, yeah. Bouncing back and forth every morning before daybreak. I've been trying to get there, except today. I made my pot of soup. And it's interesting. I think most people are relegated to the outdoor swaps nowadays. I know I've had a great time at them, not too far from the house. Bring a chair, sit behind somebody's table, bring your iced tea, and bring for others. And you know what? Good fellowship. Other than that, not much else going on, but the bands are there if you're lucky enough to work them in the morning. In the late afternoon, not that good, but I keep trying. Great net. WP80. Back to you, Chuck.
All right there, Walt. Thanks for that report. And let's see if John still hung around. KE8IGL, welcome over to you. All right, as we move down the list to W1IK, let's get Jim in here now. I forgot what Jim posted the other day. He always posts pictures of the meals that he makes, and he had this burger, I think, on a pretzel bun, and I forgot whatever else. But I was so hungry after seeing that, I found the nearest bag of potato chips. Jim, W1IK, welcome, and over to you.
N8ZA Net Control. Here is Whiskey 1 India Kilo. Yeah, and there were Ruffles potato chips on that plate. And let's see, we had some coleslaw and some potato salad. It was kind of I don't care if it is 18 degrees out right now in Michigan. I miss summertime. Let's have a burger and coleslaw and potato salad. So that's what I did. And it was delicious, if I do say so myself. Just finishing up my dinner here. been nice listening to everyone on the net. And a little bit later tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, on Echolink, is the RV Multimode Net. Amateur Radio RVers Multimode Net. I can see with a name like that, no wonder I can't remember it. But it's hams who have RVs and hams who don't have RVs getting on Echolink and other modes and on the Quad Net Array at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. People from all over the planet checking in. And usually there is a topic of discussion that may or may not be RV related, but usually is at least ham radio related. So sometimes we have something about, what kind of an antenna do you use portable? What kind of an antenna do you use mobile? What is your favorite way to operate, et cetera, et cetera. So that's at 9 p.m. on the QuadNet Array, and the way I access it is via Echolink. Via Echolink, you can find it on the SE Link, Southeast Link, SELINK. SE Link is a conference node, and you just do a search for SE Link and connect that way at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Thursday nights you will be checked into the QuadNet Array, and you will be asked if you would like to join the net. You do not need to be a member of any group. You don't have to own an RV, but it's just a good bunch of folks. I will be listening there and checking in, so don't let that stop you. Back to Net Control, here is Whiskey 1 India Kilo Jim in East Point, Michigan.
All right, there, Jim. Very, very good. Yeah, I'm gonna have to tune into that one time. Just like to listen to see what they're talking about, whatever information or whatever. All right, next on my list is N8HUB. We're back to Andy again. What else you got on your mind there, Andy? Over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Chuck. Yeah, QuadNet's a good one. I haven't been on there a long time either. I had wrote down here someplace out there. Get in my little black book here and find a room number for that. That's a good one. Just wanted to say hello to Walt, Larry, and Mark. Those guys are usually on our nets on Tuesday night, so everybody's welcome. If we got a chance, Tuesday nights, 7 o'clock Eastern, 21335. 21335. You use that number with a hotspot to get in there. Everybody's welcome. As far as the swaps, another thing I like about it is their coffee and chocolate donuts. You see me at a swap, I usually get a cup of coffee and a couple of chocolate donuts in front of me, so you can pick me out of a crowd, I guess. But that's half the fun. Hey, thanks, Chuck. Good net. Thanks for doing it. Catch you next time. N8HUB.
NAQPR.
All right, Andy, very good. And NAQPR, are you short time or can you wait?
I didn't know if this was a net or not. I just turned on my radio. I thought I'd see if I could jump in, if that's allowed. I'm driving somewhere, so I don't have to get right in.
All right, well, let's get you in since you threw your call out there. Yes, this is the USECA Zombie Alert Fusion Net. We just talked to Andy, and we're on our 73 rounds, and our big question was swaps. Do you like indoor swaps or outdoor swaps? Do you go to swaps? And do you have a favorite memory about a swap there, Don? So over to you.
Well, thank you. I hope I'm not messing up rotation. But my favorite stop would probably Dayton Hamvention, 1992 or 93, or maybe both. Me and my friend John, N82DW, which Walt helped both of us get into the hobby, went down there like 2 years in a row in the early 90s, and man, that was fun. We just drove down there and slept in some hotel or in the car, I don't even remember. It was just, we walked all around, and man, that was fun. And then I've gone to a couple of swaps around here, but not a lot. Back to you.
All right, there, John. Very good. Well, thanks for checking in with us here. Yeah, I wanted to get you in because you said you were driving, and I don't know how far you got to go. So at least we got you in there, and thanks for telling us. Anyway, next is Bruce, and of course Andy with the coffee and the chocolate donuts. Very good. Can't miss that there, Andy. I always tell people you can't miss me. I'm vertically challenged, and I'm pushing maximum density. WA1UTQ, Bruce, over to you.
Okay, nice to hear all the good, interesting information. Yeah, I have a plan to watch. I just looking through the TV here, the YouTube. I forgot about the CES was out there in Nevada, and they reported the lowest attendance, 40,000. Wow, but it's so empty in there. And see what the new latest gadget technology is, not ham radio, because I don't know if this ham convention that we're coming up in Orlando next month is going to have any new items, but we'll see. We'll see what it is. I'll report back and let you know if any new equipment are coming out. So, let's hush up for a while. I don't know what it is. But anyways, it's 73 is off. By the way, it's still 55 degrees. It's chilly here. Very dry. The dew point is like 40. Man, you talk about dry. I've never seen dryness like that. But anyways. Okay, thanks everybody, 73s, and we'll catch you, I don't think I might make it next week because I have the in-person meeting of the ham club of mine, and but I'd like to also find out what kind of gadgets they got out probably in 2 weeks, the next chit-chat time. Okay, 73 is all. I'll catch you maybe next week, depends on how everything goes well. This is WMTQ here in the chilly North Central Florida.
All right there, Bruce. I think I got to like 30-something degrees today, maybe. But then we're going to have some 28 degrees, 20 degrees. We're going to have a low of 9 degrees one night. So, yeah, you just put a sweater on, my friend. Let's get the K4PYA. Robert, welcome once again, and take a turn.
Okay, this is K4PYA again. Only got one further little bit of information for the group here tonight. And I mentioned this last week, I believe, and that is the Hazel Park Amateur Radio Club is actually conducting 3 classes for all license levels for ham radio. I'm actually in the extra class myself, and they're about ready to start the winter session. I've been in the fall, early winter session. They're about ready to start the would be winter spring session. So if anybody's interested in upgrading their license from tech to general or general to extra, send me an email at k4pya@arrl.net. If you didn't get that, I'm in QRZ. The email is there. So send me an email. I'll send you all the information about how to get in either the general class or the tech or the extra class. So anyhow, it's a good opportunity. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything except your time and the ARRL manual that accompanies the class. So if you're thinking about upgrading, now's the time to do it. You do it via Zoom. And the extra class meets on Tuesday night from 6 to 9 p.m. And it's a pretty painless way to hear some experts kind of drill it in your head. So, again, if you're interested, send me an email. I'll send you all the information you need to get in. And with that, 73 everyone. Thank you, Chuck, for running the net tonight. Excellent job. This is K4PYA back over to N8ZA.
All right there, Robert. Yeah, the Hazel Park has been running quite a few classes over the years and helping a lot of people out. And I was going to ask if they were doing it from Zoom, if they were Zooming it, because that means you could be in another state and probably do it too. So there you go, reaching out to everybody. Anyway, yeah, that's great. I know a few people that have gone through the class in the past, and it helps them out immensely. So there you go. All right, where am I at again on my list? Somebody tell me. Raise your hand. Larry raised his hand. Where is it, Larry? Okay. Alpha Charlie 8 Zulu Delta. Let's get Dave in here now. Dave, welcome.
All right, now I want to give a +1 for that Hazel Park extra class. I was in it for about half of the fall session, and they do an excellent job, and they go through, sometimes they digress and they have stories, but the stories are very interesting, and it really does help you learn the material. So I highly recommend, if you're looking to upgrade your license, to go through them. As far as that RV net, just to give information to anyone who's interested in it, there's a WiresX link if you want to use your Fusion radio. And I'm looking up the number right now. It's 43389. So that's 43389. I think that's 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And other than that, HF has been kind of fun. Just like Walt says, you got to kind of hop the band at the right time. I was able to get on 10 meters today and reach out to Oregon and Washington, but it was only open for like a half an hour, and then the band just faded. So don't necessarily rely on that weather report. You just try it, and you might get out there and you'll be surprised. Back to net. Thanks for running it, Chuck. This is AC8VD.
All right there, Dave. Very good. Yeah, I don't know what like back in the day when I worked a lot at DX, really hunted down the DX, but there'd be, bad reports about the conditions and all that. And I don't know if that's because that had kept people off the air, but then it let other people kind of like squeak through that I would have normally maybe not have heard. And, I made a lot of good contacts when, people said the band was bad, and I made some great stuff. All right, KC8PCH. Paul, welcome, and over to you.
Okay, APCH. One thing I wanted to add real quick is recently I've been playing around with a couple of software-defined radios. I think they're the RTL SDRs. I think they're $39 now or something like that. So I decided to play around a little bit with a setup that takes two of the SDRs and creates a trunking system. So basically, it's a police scanner, and it's been really interesting seeing how those operate. Of course, don't pick up anything that's encrypted, because I'm just picking up what's over the air. But the way that it was working really well. It took advantage of two SDRs and the little rabbit ear dipole that it comes with in the kit, and pretty simple to set up, pretty cool to play around with, and you're just kind of listening on. You get to hear all kinds of fun stuff like where that Challenger that just got stolen is, and all that other good stuff. So, fun to play with, little project, but that's pretty much all I have for right now. I'll go ahead and give it back to Net Control. This is KE8PCH.
All right, there, Paul. Yeah, put that club on your Chrysler product there. I hear you got one of the ones that people seem to love. All right, K6WU. Dave, let's get you in here now. Welcome. Take a turn.
All right, do you have the right call check? November 6, Whiskey Yankee.
Yeah, I think I got you somewhere. You know, you're farther down on the list. You're farther down on the list. I know, really, it's me. All right, hold on. K6WU. Are you there, Dave? All right, he's gone. It'll be your turn eventually there. N6WY, Dave, it'll be your turn eventually. All right, KI8M. That's really your call. Gary, welcome over to you.
N8ZA in a group. This is KI8M. Yeah, currently it's my call. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot more to add, but yeah, we're going to get colder winter weather again shortly, unfortunately. I think, though, spring is less than 100 days away, thank goodness. And, in fact, the days are going to start getting longer. I heard the weather guy on TV say this evening. So I'm looking forward to that, too. More daylight would be greatly appreciated. Nothing more to add, so we'll say 7-3 to 1-all. Thanks for running the net, Chuck, and I'm sure we'll be talking again. Back to you. This is KI8M.
All right there, Gary. Very, very good. We'll catch you next time, maybe on the 2-meter sideband net that's going to happen pretty soon. All right, WSOX. Larry, welcome again. Larry, what else is on your mind? Over to you.
All right, Chuck, you're doing a great job on the net there tonight. And, gosh, I was wondering if Mel was going to check in. I missed hearing him, so I hope he's okay over there. I hope they didn't put him in a concentration camp or anything like that over there for COVID or non-vaccinated people. But hope he's out there and doing good, just being busy. Other than that, pretty good day today. Got a lot of things accomplished, and hopefully again tomorrow we'll see what happens. So thanks again, Chuck, for running the net, and we'll pass it back to you in 8 WSOX.
All right there, Larry. Very good. We'll catch you later, I'm sure of that. Thanks for being there as always. You all, of course, are always doing a tremendous job keeping this net going. N6WY. Look at that, Dave. It's your turn, and that's okay, Dave, because I might have mixed up your call with somebody else's, and sometimes I put the pen that I'm writing names down and cover a name up and miss somebody. So, yeah, always come in here if you think I've passed you up. Dave, N6WY. Dave, welcome to the net. Anything else for us? Over to you.
Okay, thank you, Chuck. This is N6WY. Yeah, I thought maybe you just scribbled it down and you couldn't read your own handwriting like I do sometimes. And I know it wasn't that close, but there's not too many sixes on that here tonight. One thing I might add about a swap down at Dayton, the new Dayton, Xenion. I think it was 3 years ago I bought a Kenwood D74 off a vendor. It was Giga Parts, a major vendor, and he didn't bring any equipment down. He just brought a bunch of computer screens. He says, "Here's what we have." And, you know, I go there to look at the latest and greatest, and also look at the things before I buy it. And I just wonder if other vendors are going to start doing that. Not bring so much equipment, just, the standard items they're going to have on computers, and maybe they have one or two feature items. That saves on shipping, but it also makes the new stuff kind of interesting to go through. So with that, it's my 73s. Thanks for running the net. This is 6WY, back to net.
All right there, Dave. Yeah, you're right. Not too many people with the 6 call in here, so very good. Well, I don't know if you heard the call that Walt called me when he turned it over to me, so that was a little different too. And I run so many nets, that last night I laughed myself silly because the one guy was running the net, but the one guy was doing a relay for him, but he kept on turning it over to me with my call, or calling using my name to the other guy. Anyway, it was funny. I laughed, I tell you. All right, KT7 Tango Tango. Got it right, Mark. Welcome to the net. Tell us any other news that's going on or anything else you want to share. Over to you, Mark. Thanks.
Well, thank you, Chuck. Just one thing. Talking about the swamp meets. I really a long time. I'm a people person, so that's Walt, if you're still listening, good evening, and running the net, we appreciate it. Back to you from KT7KT.
All right there, Mark. Very, very good. I'm glad that it all went well because we know Walt had some issues with his, of course. I still remember when my uncle, God rest his soul, had his done, and he looked at himself in the mirror, and he couldn't believe how white his hair was. He just couldn't believe it. That's how bad his eyesight was getting. So it made a big difference. W0SCA, Mr. Blake, welcome once again. I wonder if you've been skiing this winter so far. Blake, over to you.
Well, good evening there, Chuck. Yeah. Well, I'm not quite sure exactly what you just asked me because my volume was a little low, but, oh, man, it's been wintry. That's a good term for wintry. Today was warm. Today was about 40 up here. Of course, being at 11,000 feet, it's all kind of weird because when you go down a few thousand feet, it warms up. So I went down today to pick up some groceries and some dog food and more coffee and all that stuff, the kind of stuff you need, like to live. And it was like 55 degrees down where I do all my shopping. I was like, man, oh man. I almost broke out the bikini, but decided not to do it. I don't need another conviction on those sorts of things. Overexposure a little bit was a problem last time, so we don't want to do that again. Otherwise, not a whole lot to talk about here. Interestingly enough, I was talking about that Quartz Fest, these slop / all kinds of other stuff in Arizona, and that is happening, I believe, not this weekend, but the next weekend. If you don't have anything going on and you want to go to the nice warmth of Arizona, now here's your opportunity to do it. Should be nice and some warm out there, and you can do a ham swap. Otherwise, that's all I've got. I'm just kind of getting some stuff done around the house here and getting ready to I got to go out of town tomorrow for a week or so for work in Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm just kind of getting clothes packed up and getting things put away and stuff for the dog. He's going to his
neighbor's house, so he'll get the dog food set up for him and all that. That's all I got. W0SCA.net.
All right, there, Blake. Very good. Well, I'm glad you checked in with us this evening. And of course, if your dog's nearby, I'm just going to say, get the squirrel, 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 get the squirrel. Yeah, there you go. Hopefully that caused you trouble. W8RJD, Ryan, if you're still in there, welcome. Take it. You're 73 round. Take a turn there, Ryan. Over to you.
Good evening, N8ZA in the group. Great net. Looks like there were a lot of people, a lot of people on tonight. I haven't been on the air too much lately. I've been working on a project with my kids' bedrooms. As the weather gets colder, we got the idea to get them some bunk beds, and that led to a painting project, and so now I painted a couple rooms, but it looks like we're on the tail end of that project, just getting their rooms organized and cleaned up, so that's real nice. So we're on the tail end of that, so hopefully I can get back on the air a little bit more. But wanted to just after listening to some of the other people on that, wanted to give another just endorsement for the Hazel Park Club's class. I took it for my amateur extra. I ended up halfway through the class. USECA offered the test, and I ended up taking the test about halfway through the class. But I still stuck with the Hazel Park class because they really, it's a lot of information, and it's a lot of good information, and you're hearing from a lot of people who really know what they're doing. So it was worth kind of hanging in there with it, even though I had already taken and passed the test halfway through the class. But it's still a really good class. And then, oh gosh, what was it? Well, I forgot what I was going to say at the end of that. I guess I'm just getting a little early onset. But anyway, 7-3 everybody. It was a great net chat. Great job running that. I'm going to turn it back over to net control. This is W8RJD.
All right there, Ryan. Very, very good. I think you were just about to say what a wonderful net this is, that this is the asbestos net you ever checked into. All right. Let's get Don in here since I still got him on the list. Maybe he's still driving, but let's find out. N8QPR, Don, if you're there, take a turn.
Yes, I'm still here. I just picked up my pizza, which worked out great, and I am now heading home with the pizza for dinner for the family, and hopefully the guy from Florida, I think his name was Bruce, and I don't remember his calls, like UTJ or something, UTQ at the end. I'd like to talk to him after the net if he's out there. We're going to Florida next week, and it'd be cool to talk to somebody who already lives there. That's all I have. I'll still be here for another 20 minutes, and then QPR back to net control.
All right, very, very good there, Don. Well, yeah, that's WA1UTQ, lives in the Villages. He has, I think, like 10 repeaters. But, see, the problem is there, Don, you said the word pizza. There was people turning off the radio when you said pizza. So we want to know where you get this pizza at. What do you like on your pizza? Is it square? Is it round? Is it triangle? We want to know the specifications. Once you get the schematic out on this pizza, and tell us about it there, Don. Over to you.
Well, I'd be glad to. We're at my favorite pizza joint. It is Papa John's Pizza on Rochester Road in Hamlin. I was going to originally order from the Hayes and 23 Mile Road, but I got on my phone to order from there, and they were closed. So this is my backup place. I used to come here a lot when I was coming home from teaching at Henry Ford almost every Thursday, but I haven't been here in a while since the other one's a little close. My radio went out when I turned the corner. I gotta look into that. Let's see if I still have it. Looks
I get in. Okay, so I got a large pizza, the Lurks from Papa John's, and I got a small pizza that's cheese and mushrooms only for my daughter, and then like 6 wings. And that feeds the whole family. And it's just delicious. I love Papa John's pizza. So I'm heading home back down to 26 and Van Dyke. Back to net control.
Alright, very, very good there, Don. You know, we've talked about this on other nets, but maybe if I run the net next time or one of the other guys, pizza is a great, great conversation thing. We get everybody talk about their favorite pizza, where and what, and it turns out to be pretty good. Alright, Don, thanks for being in there. Sounds just wonderful. Alright, do we have any other check-ins for the net? Oh, welcome. This is NA Today.
This is Kilo Oscar 4, Oscar Whiskey Bravo, Rick in Beverly Hills, Florida.
Alrighty, Kilo Oscar 4, Oscar Whiskey Bravo. I think I got that right, maybe, huh? Well, the big question tonight, though, was not pizza, it was swaps. Do you go to any swaps? Do you prefer indoor, outdoor? Do you have a good swap story for us? Welcome to the net, and over to you.
Well, thank you for the welcome, and this is all new to me. I'm somewhat new to amateur radio. Swaps. I guess usually we'll do some indoor swaps. I'm just really only been to my first couple AmpFests, and I'm assuming that's what you mean by swaps. But no. I'm just getting started in this, so I'm hoping to hit a couple more AmpFests and some swap meetings in the near future. I hope that answers the question.
Yep, it sure does there, Rick. It answers the question. And a big hint that my friend Ray's been licensed forever. He actually was like the radio man when they were fighting against the Kaiser. But anyway, look under the tables. When you go to these AmFests, you know, if you're looking for deals on stuff to play around with, look under the table. Sometimes there's a box with this stuff in it. They didn't have room on the table, and you peek in there and you go, hey, you don't want to take this home, do you? All right, do we have any other check-ins? This is NA Today. Well, I think that wraps it up. I think it really does at 8:18. We lasted quite a ways. I want to thank everybody for participating this evening. Remember, this net would not be possible without you guys. This is what makes the net so great. So we want to thank everybody for checking in. Pop in any time through the day. Off and on, there's people here off and on. So it doesn't have to be just net time. Throw your call out once in a while. Maybe somebody will come around and say hello, so don't be shy. With that, we'll officially close the net. We'll say 7 trees for everybody. And then close the net. 7 trees, God bless. Adios.